Hey guys, welcome to Klinger Vocal Studio. I'm Marcus Klinger, and my special guest today is Melinda Kearing.
Hello.
Why don't you tell them how we met?
We met in about 1986 when we both did a production of The Music Man.
I'll give you a second to do the math.
Walnut Creek, California. I was Ethel Toffelmeyer. And
I was nobody.
Third
kid on the left.
Actually, we got put into little family groups, and we were told that we were cousins, and we went, okay.
We believed it.
And we've been cousins ever since.
So today, we had a fascinating conversation at lunch that we wanted to share with you. And it's a roadmap on how do you become a singer and an actor and do them both at the same time. Where is that line, especially if you play something like Sondheim? Where does the acting stop, the singing start? Because we've both been trained in singing and acting, but nobody's ever put them together for me. You?
Not at all. It all depends on what role you're playing and what voice you assign to the character.
Yeah. So we kind of figured out today that it has a lot to do with how many acting choices you're bringing into the singing. Is it necessary? Or does the singing make those choices for you? So Melinda got to see Sweeney Todd a few very cool different ways. The first was San Francisco Opera, where they were singing with a capital S. But now, having played Mrs. Lovett a few times, you know the show. What did that do to it for you?
I was amazed at the pure vocal quality of like everybody on that stage. It was absolutely stunning. And then I approached it, since I do know the show very well, I approached it as someone who didn't know the story. And I wondered, okay, am I being told the story? And that was where it sort of lacked.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the emotion to hit me, the emotion I knew was supposed to be there. But professional singers are very careful about their vocal choices, especially if you're Sweeney Todd and you have a song like Epiphany to growl your way through. And this Sweeney was absolutely amazing, but he held back emotionally because that would have really hurt his voice, because that's a very furious song.
Yeah. And then the other end of the spectrum, you have Johnny Depp, that pretty much in the movie acts the song to the hilt, but doesn't use the technique to really sing it. And for me, that takes away something too.
Well, he's right by the microphone in the recording studio, and they just hit playback, and they act as well as they could without their own voices coming out of them when they perform it.
Right. So when you're up against the mic and you're saying, they all deserve to die, it's a different feel and a different look than they all deserve to die. And so one of the other things that we kind of figured out was the way that Mrs. Lovett created her character in the movie was based on a softness that came from the voice, maybe not the other way around.
Yep, I could tell that she was sort of hesitant about her vocal prowess, and she chose a very light, very, very uncertain voice, and that, I think, led to her very soft, uncertain character, which definitely took a backseat to Sweeney.
So that's why we wanted to talk to you today, because sometimes if your voice itself is a little bit unsure of itself, that's going to eke its way into the way you play the character. And we're not going to let you do that. No. So one of the first things that we found was a recording of somebody that's just proving every point, proving every word. And we're going to ask why. Here we go.
You can reach me by railway. You can reach me by train. You can reach me in an airplane.
Yikes.
He means every word.
Too many acting choices. Like directors say, he's proving every point. But we kind of figured out why. Like, look at it. If I were to speak that to you, I'd say, you can reach me by airplane, you can reach me by trailway. I wouldn't speak it at the speed of the song. You can reach me by railway. And think about it. If you're not really singing and you don't think you are, you think you're acting it, but you have to act it that slow, of course you're going to have to prove every word.
He was given too many liberties in that, and I think that he really, really meant the song, but he doesn't have to.
And he's not relying on the music, the notes itself to do it. You can reach me by railway says it all. Those notes say what he means.
Yeah, he cheats the song by trying to like recreate the song
do
instead
more
of
than
just
it was meant to
singing
be.
it.
Right, yeah. Rely on the music and rely on your instrument. We're going to show you Bill Murray. Bill Murray wanted to go on The Late Show last week and sing from West Side Story. And he didn't have the technique, so he was going to bring his acting chops instead. The problem is he had 9 seconds to say the line, "There's a time for us." So he had to make almost an acting choice for every word.
There's a time for us. Someday, time together with time.
You're maybe not sure why, but you want the music to take over. And once he actually does start singing, it's so much better because the acting choices are being made for him by the melody.
It's very sweet, yeah.
You have a partner when you're up there singing a Sondheim song or an Ahrens and Fladley song. You have partners that think about your acting choices and help you make them within the melody of the song itself. And the more you leave the melody, the more acting choices you're having to throw at it, and the worse it gets. He really did feel it when he was saying the words.
Yeah.
It's just not the medium. This is a giant song for someone that's a beautiful singer. It's like putting me on stage to do Swan Lake. You can put the most beautiful set, the most
I'd like
beautiful
to see
orchestra.
that,
I'm sure you would. I could charge tickets for that. But I could stumble through it. But you want Misty Copeland. You want to see somebody that's been trained at what they do, both in the acting and the singing, so that when they do sing Epiphany, they hit every note, but they do it with passion. And so that's kind of our message today. Don't make too many choices when the music's already making them for you.
Just let the song sing you.
What's your favorite Sondheim song?
My favorite Sondheim's Every Day a Little Death.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Why?
Because it just touches a core sadness, I think.
Yeah.
And I think it's beautiful.
It's incredible. I think mine is Could I Leave You? Haunting. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, that's our message for today. I want to thank Melinda Kearing for being here with me. Thanks, you guys. I'll have another podcast coming in a few days. Thank you so much for being with us today at Klinger Vocal Studios. I'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.